Right, Klein ISD, welcome to our Facebook Live event. It's Choosing Your Path to Purpose. We're starting a little early tonight to allow people time to get into the broadcast. Right now, we're going to go ahead and welcome you all. And as you're joining us, if you could just go ahead and in the comment section, if you're on Facebook, you can tag your friends, tag your family, anyone out there in Klein ISD who is welcoming any 5th graders through incoming 11th graders next year. They would love to benefit from this presentation. While we're waiting, we're going to watch a little video right now. So let me cue that video up, and we'll come back after the video is over.
I plan to go get my LVT license, licensed veterinary technician for the state of Texas. That's actually a position that we train for in this class. We get to shadow other technicians.
Whenever I first learned about this program, and it was like, this is amazing. This is everything I want. And you have to spend a certain amount of hours in class and you have to spend a certain amount of hours in a clinic. So you do this all year long and you will graduate certified vet assistant level 1.
With being able to already work in the clinic and have an established bond with veterinarians. And even if you're going to vet school, any aspect of the veterinary field, you have already one step above others.
This program is amazing.
Oh, I think it's incredible that the district offers dual credit classes, college courses, because I think they're more advanced and they help us educationally. The mock trial is awesome. It helps me learn and benefits a lot. And for the criminal justice major that I'm going into, it extends on all the details and the classes that I'm going to need for the future. You want to learn here. It's nothing that you're, oh, okay, I got to memorize this formula or something like that. This one you actually are interested and want to learn and build a future off of it. It's one of the best classes I've ever taken.
I've never been in a nursing class before, but it turned out to be really fun and cool and interesting because we learned a lot of nursing skills.
We do almost everything except give meds and, start IVs.
We've done vital signs and bed making, and it was really fun to learn all of the different skills.
The teachers are all amazing. I feel whenever I'm talking to my sister who's a nurse, I feel very prepared.
So we take all dual credit classes, and so the cost is less versus a regular normal college class.
I think it's awesome, and especially through the experience that we've had at clinicals at the hospitals, knowing that I could be working there in a matter of a year or two, it's really, really cool.
All right, welcome back. We are starting our Choosing Your Path to Purpose. This is our Facebook Q&A, our live stream here tonight, and welcome. It's January 14th. My name is Justin Elbert. I am the Director of External Communications here in Klein ISD, and we have a huge panel for you tonight of some experts in the field that are just here to answer your questions. We have almost 400 people viewing us live right now, so if you could do me a favor, and in the comment section, if you could tag your friends, anyone 5th grade through 11th grade has a student in our system would benefit from this presentation. Coming up right now, we have Dr. McGowan, our superintendent of schools here in Klein ISD. And Dr. McGowan, she started as a teacher in the district and worked her way up to a principal and through the system and worked for a while as our chief learning officer and is now and was our deputy superintendent, is now our superintendent of schools here in Klein ISD. And we are so blessed to have an amazing leader and educator at heart like Jenny McGowan. She is a parent of kids in the system, so she truly is that all around. She loves the system. She loves Klein ISD. And let me welcome her into the live stream right now. Dr. McGowan, are you here? Okay, it looks like I've lost Dr. McGowan. Technology is not infallible. So let me see if we can get her back here. While we're waiting for Dr. McGowan, if y'all could do me a favor and just tag any questions you have in the comments. And you can also tag your friends that are watching. I think a lot of y'all may have missed the video we just played. So we're going to go back and watch this amazing video that we produced about all of our pathways in the system. And we're going to get started here very soon. I see a lot of you tagging your friends. And actually, you know what? We're going to move that video to the back. Dr. McGowan, I think you're here. Let me add you to the stream.
Yes.
Hey, Dr. McGowan, welcome. Okay, we are so blessed to have you tonight for our Facebook live stream. So let me get your slides queued up here. Here we go. All right, take it away, Dr. McGowan.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin, and good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if we were having a few technical issues there, but I'm so excited that this evening, as a fellow Klein ISD parent who wants to support my own children and making the right choices for their education, and of course, as an educator, I'm so happy that we're here together sharing some time for tonight's Choosing Your Path to Purpose event. This is such a wonderful opportunity for all of our students and our families to learn about the numerous pathways and the variety of courses that we provide in our amazing district to help every student find their unique purpose. So from rigorous academics to fine arts to athletics to career preparation, we are dedicated to offering an excellent, well-rounded education to every student, whether they want to go to college or the workforce or serve in our nation's military. So tonight, before I turn it over to the members of our outstanding college and career pathways team, I do want to take a moment just to express my gratitude to all of you and our Klein community for your patience and your support as we face the many challenges that COVID has presented this year. You all may recall that before the holidays, we conducted a survey to learn more about our community's experience with both Klein on campus and Klein online. And we're so grateful that nearly 20,000 Klein stakeholders participated in that survey. This included some of our district staff, our families, and our students. And so I just wanted to share a couple of highlights with you all. We're using the things that we've learned from you to continuously improve as we finish out this school year together. But first up, we learned that 83% of our families agree or strongly agree that teachers are accessible and responsive. And so I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our teachers in Klein ISD. They are truly the ones who are on the front lines of responding to all the many challenges that we are facing right now in our world and in education. And they are a constant source of hope and support for our kids. So thank you to all of our amazing teachers and parents. I hope you will join me in giving those words of encouragement and gratitude to those teachers that you know are making a positive impact in your children's lives. We also learned from the feedback that 80% of our families are satisfied or very satisfied with the communication they're receiving from the campus. So again, I also want to thank our principals, our counselors, our nurses who are working so hard to communicate with our families. And then 81% of our families said they're satisfied or very satisfied with the communication they've received from the district. And so not only has our outstanding communications team taken on so many things since our emergency closure, especially in March of 2020, but they're also helping to put on this fabulous event this evening. So grateful for all of the hard work that continues to happen. Again, we know that there are things that we need to continue to improve, and we're going to work hard on those things as well. But it's great to see that there are a lot of folks who are very satisfied with what they've experienced so far. We do know that the school has looked very different this year, and I will say we are very much looking forward to more normal days in the future, getting to welcome all of our students back to classrooms on campus safely sometime in the future. But despite the challenges that we faced, I do want to celebrate that we've remained committed to the promise and purpose of every student in our care. And this has recently led to both local and national recognition. So we're proud to share that we have been named one of only 3 national districts of distinction, as well as the only school district ever to be honored as a 2-time winner of the Houston Business Journal's Innovation Award for all of the innovative pathways and experiences that we have available to our students. The tradition of excellence and innovation in Klein ISD continues to thrive, and I'm very proud to say that my own children attend our excellent schools. We can see every single day from rigorous academics to athletics, and I do want to give a shout out to our Klein High School Bearcats who recently just advanced to the UIL 6A state volleyball finals. So representing the district in a very, very competitive way, all the way to the state finals. To, of course, our award-winning fine arts. I think all of us know that we have been named a best community for the arts for almost a decade now. That's both for music education and for art education, to the industry standard training we have in culinary arts and robotics and agriculture and so much more. And believe me, I could keep going doing, but these are just a few of the exceptional opportunities for our students that you and I will be learning more about tonight. So a driving force of this success is our college and career pathway team. I am so grateful for the outstanding work that they do in supporting our families as we make the choices for our children's education. So it is my great pleasure this evening to introduce you to some of the folks that you'll be spending time with this evening. First, please welcome Kayla Shaw. She's our Officer for Counseling and Whole Student Wellness. We also have Kathleen Plott, who's our Instructional Officer for Advanced Academics. And I want to shout out that she recently received a national recognition from the gifted and talented folks at the national level. So it's great to have her here leading Advanced Academics in Klein ISD. Deborah Bronner-Westerdown is our Director for Career and Technical Education, and Joel Wren is our Director of Fine Arts. So stay tuned for a great evening filled with lots of helpful information, and please make sure to add any questions that you have to the comment section. So you're going to get lots of guidance from this fantastic team tonight. I know we're ready to get started. So Kayla, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. McGowan. Kayla, if you'll do me a favor and unmute yourself real fast. It's okay. And then we'll invite you into this chat. There we
Thank you,
go.
Justin. I apologize that. Thank you, Dr. McGowan. Good evening, Klein families. We're so glad to be with you tonight. In Klein ISD, we are challenged daily to support our shared vision of every student entering with a promise and exiting with a purpose. You can see our placemat on the screen right now, and that includes supporting families. So we are so glad to be with you tonight. We're so glad for you joining us so that we can learn and grow together. So what promise to purpose means to me is really providing experiences and the supports to students and families that helps guide your students and your children through their academic experience, all the way from pre-K, all the way to 12 and beyond. Next slide, please. Thank you, Justin. Our goals tonight are to share the course selection process, discover pathways and resources, answer all of your questions. So like Dr. McGowan said, please drop them in the comments as they arise, and then highlight important dates. You're going to learn two important terms throughout all intermediate and high school is pathways and endorsements. And we're going to really dive in to try to figure out what exactly those mean and to help you understand. And so pathways are Klein ISD created sequence of courses to support earning an endorsement. And so these endorsements are, pathways are tied to your interest. And so our pathways really have exploded the last 5 years. We have over 100 courses to support your students in earning an endorsement. When I went to Klein Oak, don't want to say how many years ago, all these gray hairs can probably tell you, we didn't have all of these options back then. And so it's such a neat experience for students to be able to explore different pathways, different careers, different opportunities before going off to college. Next slide, please. So the other term is endorsement. And so in Texas, in order to graduate, a student has the option to choose one or more endorsement. And so on the screen, you can see there are 5 different endorsements there. STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, and of course, business and industry, public service, arts and humanities, and then multidisciplinary studies. And so our team tonight is really going to dive into each of these to share what all entails of these different endorsements. And so as I was preparing tonight for this event, trying to help families understand what the difference is between pathways and endorsements and how they're kind of used in tandem, I thought of a spider web. And so if we can all, just think of 5 different spider webs. And so I have my spider, I'm gonna have my STEM spider. And so every spider web has a endorsement. And so in order to get to the STEM spider, there's not just one pathway in a web. And so if we really think about all the different webs in a spider web, there's tons of different pathways. And so that is just like in Klein, our pathways and endorsements. We have our STEM spider, that's 1 or 5 different endorsements. And then we have all these different pathways to get to the endorsement. And so the STEM may have 10 pathways, Multidisciplinary may have 3 pathways. And so they really work together in order for students to gain experiences on courses and move along in their endorsement. Of course, they may change their mind as they go along. And so that is one of the big questions that we hear as counselors, is that can students change endorsements from year to year? And of course they can, as long as they can complete their pathway in time for graduation. Okay, next slide, please, Justin. So every year about this time, we do course selections. And so your student and your family is a part of choosing that pathway, those endorsements during course selection time. And so we really give the opportunity for students and parents to dive in and learn more. And being here tonight is one step in the right direction of investigating all of the opportunities we have here in Klein. And so that is the biggest part before selecting courses, is really investigating what it is that you're maybe interested in, and selecting those courses together as a student family in tandem with your school counselor and teachers. And so that would be the first step. And so you can check that off. We're on the road to really investigating those here tonight. So thank you again for joining us. In addition, so the students will choose their core classes and electives. And so the core classes are ELA, math, science, and social studies. And then of course their electives. And then after they choose their courses, they do submit that back to the campus, and that becomes their course request sheet. Okay, next slide, please. There are a few requirements in intermediate school. And so all intermediate students must take 1 year of PE as a 6th grader, and then they must take a 2nd year of PE either in in either 7th or 8th grade. The other requirement in intermediate school is to take a fine art. Typically as counselors, we see the 6th graders taking the fine art and then continuing on or choosing another elective after that. So those are the only 2 things that you have to are mandated as an intermediate school student. And if you have more questions, they can be found in the catalog there linked. We will be dropping all the links into the chat, or into the comment section. That way you have them. And of course, if you have questions, please drop them in the comments as well. We'll be answering questions all throughout the night. Okay, next slide, please, Justin. All right, so when students move into high school, they continue to be able to select courses they would like to take in collaboration with their parents, their teachers, and their counselors. And so students entering grades 9 through 12 will complete a career plan, a 4-year career plan in Skyward. And just as it says in the name, career plan, it is strictly a plan. It's not something that's set in stone and never changes. It's something that's working document. It's live, and every year the student will be able to look through their courses on their career plan and make changes. And so this is where we'll see students wanting to change endorsements or pathways, is when they are doing their course selections in their career plan. And so those are changeable each year about this time. Students, same thing with intermediate school. The high school students need to investigate all the course opportunities. We have lots of great things to share with you tonight about all the opportunities that we offer here in Klein. And so there's many different things that students can select. They're going to select 1 or more endorsements that's aligned with their pathway. And then they too are going to choose their core subjects and their electives. So their core subjects, again, are English, math, science, and social studies. And then once that plan is complete, they do sign it and submit it electronically through Skyward. Okay, Justin? So to graduate, all students must complete the required 22 courses, as well as their 4 credits aligned to their endorsement. And then in addition to the coursework, there are 5 end of course exams that students must do in high school. So that's the English 1, English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and US History. Okay, next slide, please. In order to assist you with your career plan, we have a sample 4-year plan here to help your child navigate and plan out their required courses for graduation. And so again, this link will be dropped in the comments as well. That way you can put sometimes pencil and paper, really help you to plan it out before actually entering it into Skyward. So it's a great tool to help make sure that you have all the classes needed for graduation, and then they can fit in all the fun stuff that they are interested in throughout high school. Okay, next slide, please. And then to wrap up this session, this section of the event tonight, I just want to say we know that course selections can be overwhelming, especially if you're new to it as an intermediate student. So just please know that we're here to help you along, our team here tonight, as well as our campus counselors and staff. Because every spring we have a course selection event, and so you might be 3 years into this event, or you might be brand new to course selections. Wherever you are at on this adventure, just please reach out if you have any questions, and don't hesitate to ask and to connect with your campus. So the course selection information, if it hasn't gone home already, it goes home this month. So definitely investigate all of those course opportunities that we offer here in Klein. We have lots of great things coming up. We'll share some additional events that are coming up as well to help with course selection. And then always visit that kleinisd.net/pathways if you need to figure out more information, what courses are about, and just all of the pathways offered here in Klein. In addition, there are campus and district events that are coming up. The campus and district websites are also great tools to find information. And then, of course, meeting with your teachers and counselors and with your parents to make sure that everybody is on the same page. One other thing about course selections is that typically these are very individualized. There's really no two course requests that look the same. And so this is each student's individual plan that best suits them with their interests and their abilities to have a successful classroom time.
All right, I think it's time for us to go to some questions. So thank you, Kayla, so much. I'm going to bring in the amazing Deborah Bronner-Westerden. See if we can get her in here. Hey, Deborah.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so thank you so much, Kayla. I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you have some questions coming in. I've seen so many, and there's 700 people viewing this live right now. We've had a lot of questions. So, Deborah, did you have any questions come in?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Deborah Bronner-Westerden. I'm the Director for Career and Technical Education. And I also am going to be serving as sort of the MC tonight. And so keep those questions coming in, and I will shoot them to the right team member this evening. So first off, we have a question from Anna. Anna wants to know when and how is the right way for a fifth grader to go about signing up for their intermediate school classes. Kayla?
Can you hear me okay, Deborah?
Yes, absolutely.
I just wanted to make sure before I answered Anna. So yes, if you have not already heard from your intermediate counselor, you will be in the next week or two. We'll start the course selection process where packets of information will go home. They will begin to have campus meetings, and then you will follow their procedures in filling out the packet and submitting your course request.
We also have another question from a student wondering how they go about getting an off-campus PE credit approved.
Awesome, good question. So both for intermediate and high school, if you are doing either an Olympic style sport or a less than Olympic style sport, you can do off-campus PE with an approved vendor. And so you'll want to make sure to let your counselor know during course selection time. That way they can mark that on your course request and give you the off-campus PE packet. So you'll want to get the off-campus PE packet from the counseling department and return that before the end of the school year so that you are making sure that you're with an approved vendor and approved for the course.
We have one more I'd like to ask you, and this question comes in from Daniel. Okay. And Daniel would like to know, are the courses for middle school, does he go about enrolling in those online, or is that a paper process?
So it really depends on the campus. Most campuses are doing online this year, if not all of them for the secondary level. So if you're incoming, I forgot the grade level you said.
Going into intermediate school.
Okay, so yours may be paper because you're an incoming 6th grader. So it will be either paper or online.
Okay. Well, there are lots of great questions already about the course selection process. Please keep those coming. Don't worry if we don't get to those this evening. We will be answering those questions as a follow-up right in Facebook. And I'm going to go ahead and move on and share with you a little bit about our programs and why we are here in the Career and Technical Education Department as part of the College and Career Pathways. So again, I am the proud director of Klein ISD's Career and Technical Education program. And as Dr. McGowan shared, we are here and our goal is to help our students find their purpose. And for Career and Technical Education, also known as CTE, we offer approximately 50 pathways under 3 of those 5 endorsements that were spoken about earlier. So I'm going to talk with you more about the STEM, business and industry, and public service endorsements. So as Kayla shared, it's so important to begin with the end in mind. So students, let me talk to you directly for just a moment. Think about what really interests you and what might you want to do in your future when you grow up. This is the important question to ask now. While you may change along your pathway, it's important early on to begin investigating your options. That's what's going to prepare you for post-secondary education and life after high school. And so as I mentioned, in CTE, we offer approximately 50 pathways under those 3 endorsement areas. And a pathway in CTE is a sequence of courses that may be 3 years and they can even be up to 6 years. And all of those pathways are very specifically designed to help you prepare for post-secondary education, for college and career, and leading to high skill, high wage, and in-demand future careers. So all of the endorsements and their pathways offer you lots of advanced course options. Many of them are STEM focused pathways that begin down at the intermediate school at 7th grade. So we offer courses in digital design, computer science, pre-engineering courses. And then in the high school, we offer full pathways that lead toward many credentials, such as college credentials, industry certifications, courses that have advanced grade points, and some of those pathways even lead toward associate's degrees. So an overwhelming majority of high school students are taking CTE courses, but we want you to all be experiencing these great opportunities and really look into how a full pathway of courses is helping you to be prepared. So let's look at the next slide, and that is specifically the STEM endorsement. So we are fortunate in Klein ISD to be able to offer all 5 endorsements. The 3 that I'm speaking about all have STEM-related experiences in them. But what makes this endorsement different is the state of Texas has specifically identified certain courses that will apply towards students earning this endorsement for their high school plan for graduation. So oftentimes when people talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, people will think about scientist, which is right on target. However, what people don't often think about is STEM is also computer science and cybersecurity and engineering design. And those are pathways that we offer right here in Klein ISD through the Career and Technical Education program. And our graduates, not only of the STEM pathway, but all of our pathways tell us how well prepared they are. In fact, many graduates come back and share with us that they're sitting next to others in their college classes and they are far more prepared. Our industry advisors are telling us our STEM courses have high-end technology and industry-grade equipment that is setting Klein ISD apart. So there is a website down at the bottom of that slide, and it is specifically leading you to information about the STEM pathways with CTE. Okay, Justin. Next slide, please. So another endorsement that I'm going to give you some information about is our business and industry endorsement. So don't let that name fool you. Business and industry courses are very broad. In fact, this endorsement offers a huge variety of pathway types and courses. So the STEM-specific pathways that I referred to that would be under business and industry range from robotics and animal science, veterinary medicine, and accounting. While there are extension pathways to STEM called STEAM, it includes arts and designs. Those pathways include architectural design, interior design, animation, network design, and video game programming. So beyond that, considering there are so many industries and careers for which our pathways start your preparation for your purpose, there includes agriculture, engineering, marketing, automotive technology, and culinary arts, and so many more. And again, the website down at the bottom is specifically leading to these CTE pathways. And I encourage you to go and explore, click on the links. They bring you directly to the course catalog page, which then connects into our Pathways website. It's never too early to begin thinking and preparing for your future. And this is what our pathways are all about, to help you be prepared. The last one is our public service endorsement. And again, this is one of those that it might be misleading. What is public service? Well, public service is very broad, everything from pre-teaching programs to learning to be a pharmacy tech, an EMT, our forensic science pathway, all STEM-specific pathways. And we have legal studies and law enforcement and our wonderful JROTC program at every one of our high schools. So while visiting the Klein CTE website for each of those endorsements, we also have information about the industry-based certifications that students can earn under each of these. We have information about the capstone experiences students will take, and the career and technical student organizations, which are an extension beyond the classroom and really the icing on the cake for students to take their learning outside of the classroom. So let's take a look at the next slide. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Joel Wren, and he is the director of the Fine Arts programs in Klein ISD.
All right. Thank you so much, Deborah. Again, welcome to every family. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us. We're so pleased to be able to offer so many wonderful things to our students, to your children, and to our community. So this evening, I'm going to take some time to talk a little bit about fine arts, specifically the arts and humanities endorsement. Fine arts in Klein ISD has had a tradition of excellence for decades upon decades, and we are continuing that this year and continuing to push that forward every year. As Dr. McGowan said before, we have been named for over a decade one of the best communities for music education by the NAM Foundation. We're also a 2-time winner of the Texas Art Educator Association District of Distinction, and this award is only 2 years old. And that put us in the top 4% of districts around the state for our art education offerings for our students. Starting in 5th grade, I want to take some time and kind of explain a little bit about how courses are selected. I believe Anna had a question about that earlier. And as Kayla, our officer for counseling, was talking about choosing courses, you might be thinking, okay, well, my child is about to go into 6th grade next year, and there's a lot of offerings in fine arts. And so to go over those briefly with you, we offer band, choir, orchestra, theater, and visual art at the intermediate level. And in those courses, we teach the students everything they need to know. You don't have to have any prior background knowledge or any skill set at all for those classes. Our teachers teach you from the ground up. That's always a big question we get is, well, I don't have any piano background, or I don't know if I can sing. Well, the reality is yes, you can do all those things. We can teach you to have art skills. We can teach you to be theatric. And that's one of the great things about Klein ISD is that our teachers really invest in the students from day one on teaching them the craft from the ground level. And so coming very soon to be available to parents and students from our intermediate campuses is a little orientation video that's going to explain what band is like, what choir is like, what theater, orchestra, visual art, what those are like. In a normal circumstance, our 5th graders would come over to the intermediate schools and would get to see kind of a live presentation. We had a pivot this year with COVID. We're doing a virtual kind of orientation video that is really great, I think, this year because parents can have a chance to see it as well and really can see what offerings are available and see what would be appropriate for their child and what might pique their child's interest. Speaking to the pathways of fine arts, our pathways really do start in intermediate school, and they go all the way through 12th grade. We really offer a comprehensive 7-year fine arts pathway. Obviously, a student is always free to choose and make decisions, midstream. That's always acceptable. But by and large, the vast majority of our students start in intermediate school, fine arts in 6th grade, and they stay all the way until 12th grade because really it's like for students, it's like a video game. It gets better every single level and more challenging and more exciting. And it builds and builds and builds. And it's always just a really wonderful opportunity for students to build on their skills because with any skill, CTE, advanced academics, anything, as a student gets stronger in their skill set, it becomes more exciting because they get to do more things. One of the other big questions that we get every year is that, can my child do fine arts and sports? And the answer is absolutely yes. We are so blessed with great coaches and great fine arts teachers who work together on the campus level to provide opportunities for students to do both. Some of our best athletes and some of our best fine arts students do both of those things all the way through 12th grade. And we're proud to be able to offer that in a way that students can do all the things that they want to do, and the teachers work it out at the benefit of the student. So, if there's ever a question about that, absolutely. Sports and fine arts can absolutely go hand in hand, and a student can do both. Speaking just personally for myself, I did athletics in junior high, and I did band. I'm a former band director, and I'm glad I did both of those things because I really had a good time, and we can provide that for your students. As students go into high school, you may be wondering, well, how does my child graduate with an arts and humanities endorsement in fine arts? What that boils down to is that a student stays in that fine arts track and that pathway for 4 years. So I joined theater. Well, I do theater for all 4 years. And as a student gets into their senior year, we offer advanced grade points for students who've done 4 years of that fine art. Those advanced grade points are kind of a tip of the hat to the student who sticks around and does 4 years and stays in that program. One of the other cool things about fine arts is that if a student chooses choir as one of their fine arts that they do for all 7 years, that choir program will work with band, will work with theater, will work with dance and art, and those will all be like working together in a collaborative format. one of the best examples is, a Friday night when we have marching band out at a football game, we have our dance team out there, and that's just a small subset of all the different things that a student can participate in while they're in the fine arts. It's not just choir only. They get to participate in all types of events where they get to showcase their skill set on a very broad stage, so to speak. One of the last things that I'd like to leave you with is something that we're very proud of. Last year for Fine Arts, we did our very first ever signing day, very similar to athletics. It was virtual due to the quarantine and COVID, but we had students that went into the fine arts in college, and we're very proud to say that the amount of money that was offered to our students was well over $2 million in scholarships offered to our students going into the arts. So arts, it truly does pay, and we're proud to provide that for students, and we look forward to answering any further questions for y'all throughout this evening, and we sure appreciate your time. I'll pass to the next slide.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Kathleen Plott, our Officer for Advanced Academics.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I believe that Kayla is going to share with us the multidisciplinary endorsement details. And so I'm going to kick it right back on over to Kayla, and then I'll be happy to share our advanced course options.
Awesome. Hello again. And so the last of the endorsements that we're talking about of the 5 is the multidisciplinary endorsement. And so because of the broad nature of this endorsement, students can choose from a wide variety of courses to complete this pathway. Students actually end up earning this endorsement while completing their primary endorsement, not even meaning to. And so we have found over the time of the foundation plan with endorsements coming into play that students are easily earning more than one endorsement. And so this is a case in point of that happening. Somebody that is interested in this pathway could be a student who is unsure of their career interest, and so they're wanting to do a multiple amounts of subjects and career interests, and so they may want to consider this pathway just so that they can explore all different types of options. So there's really 3 specific options on this endorsement, and so if a student does 4 credits of each of the 4 foundation subjects, which that again is the English, math, science, and social studies, they would earn this endorsement. Then the second option is the 4 advanced courses, and then the third option being 4 credits in an AP class, an IB class, or a dual credit class. And so Kathleen actually is going to talk through the advanced coursework with AP, IB, and a portion of the dual credit as well. And so before I turn it back over to her, I did want to make note that, again, that most students we see getting multiple endorsements naturally. And so I just hope that that brings some calmness to you, that it really does fall into place for your students. If it's not one of the pathways that Deborah and Joel explained, it's going to be this one. And so I just want you to rest assured that there is a pathway out there for everybody. And if not, we will work together to find an interest that best suits your child. So kicking it over to Kathleen.
And
I think we're stopping for questions, though, right?
We're going to stop for some questions real fast. We've done so much. And I'm going to take that, Deborah. I'm sorry. The guy behind the screen here was switching the wrong people. So that's on me. So let's go now to the question section. So Deborah, I'll let you take it away.
All right. Well, we have another great question about course selection. And it was a question that Michelle was asking about if she wants to participate in band, how does that work if she also wants to pursue a STEM endorsement with a STEM specific pathway? So Joel, if you'll answer that for us.
Absolutely. So really the great question, the same thing that I spoke about for athletics holds true for this. Basically, the students can absolutely do all the things that they want to do in terms of a STEM endorsement and also participate in band. And basically on a simple scale, it boils down to the band director and the CTE teacher working together to find out, calendars, scheduling, and making sure that the student can do both things and the student's in the right place in the building at the right time for the concert or the certification test. And so it's just a conversation between teachers, but it's absolutely doable.
All right, I have another question for you, Joel. And Jennifer would like to know, do high schoolers have to take a fine arts class?
Yes, as part of the from TEA, there is a fine arts requirement for students. You have to have 1 year of fine art, 1 credit. So you have multiple different options of fine arts to choose from.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next section now, and we'll be taking some more questions a little bit later. So now we're going to truly go ahead and hear from our amazing Kathleen Plott, the Instructional Officer of Advanced Academics. Kathleen.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Good evening, Klein family. I'm so glad to be here. I joyfully serve as the Instructional Officer for Advanced Academic Services here in Klein. As Dr. McGowan alluded to, our GT Guiding Coalition has been nationally recognized for their work and for their efforts to provide additional advanced academic pathways for our students here in Klein ISD. So I'm super excited to share advanced academic pathways for our students who continue to challenge themselves with rigorous college prep content. And I'm going to start right off with a brand new change in Klein ISD, and that's Klein Prep. These are all of the advanced courses offered in grades 6 through 11, formerly named pre-AP. We've had to force a name change to Klein Prep, so they are still the pre-AP courses, the honors level courses that are offered to all students, that are open to all students to prepare students to be successful in advanced placement courses, in dual credit courses, in international baccalaureate courses, and additional advanced courses that Deborah alluded to in the endorsement pathways and from career and technical education. These courses provide students the opportunity to engage in college level studies and skills utilizing the college and career readiness standards. They have rigorous content, instruction, research, and assessment that are aligned to the College Board and International Baccalaureate curriculum programs. Next slide, please. I'm going to address the intermediate, the 6 through 8 advanced and accelerated course pathways in the next couple of slides. The first one I'd like to talk about is the STEM area, which Deborah described a little bit of that to you through the endorsement program. And starting in 6th grade, we have 2 different options for students who want to challenge themselves with rigorous content in math. The first one is advanced math. Now, this course is focused on applying methods to examine and solve a variety of mathematical real-world problems. Students will participate in advanced math course content from 6th and 7th grade and 6th grade. They will participate in advanced math in 7th grade. And then in 8th grade, they will challenge Klein Prep Algebra 1 for high school credit. That advanced math course is for students who also may be interested in a variety of fine arts areas or potentially athletics. That's a great rigorous course for students who are willing to explore many different areas. The second piece is accelerated math for students who really get math and really enjoy math and want to continue studies perhaps later in high school and also in college in the mathematical field. That begins at grade 6 with accelerated math. It is a compacted course that covers all of the math content or selections of math content in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That is a compacted 3-year course in 1 year's time. Then students move into grade 7 in Klein Prep Algebra 1 and challenge themselves with that course, and then move into grade 8 with Klein Prep Geometry. So that's an accelerated course. It is very fast-paced. They solve a variety of mathematical practical and real world problems. And so if a student is really motivated and has a passion for math, that's a really great selection. Additionally, we have advanced science. Now for the advanced science courses, they begin in 6th grade. It's a year and a half, 1.5 years of science that are within each year, 6th and 7th grade. It is a compacted course. At 6th grade, they study matter, energy. 7th grade, they continue with that study and add a little bit more of that content from the 7th grade level. And then in 8th grade, they challenge Klein Prep biology and work through that course for high school credit. So that's the STEM advanced course options in intermediate school for grades 6 through 8. Next slide, please. All right. So in addition to 6 through 8 having a STEM course, we also have the opportunity this school year for an advanced course called ELA Humanities. It is the Gifted and Talented ELA Humanities course. It is an authentic, nationally recognized gifted curriculum designed for gifted and talented learning in the humanities area. It focuses on classic literature by authors such as Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So there is a strong focus on grammar, vocabulary, writing, poetry, literary analysis, and research. The course is full of rigorous discussion and discourse, common instructional strategies such as Socratic seminar, where students are engaged in lively discussion of literature that is read both inside and outside of the classroom. The purpose of this course is to prepare our students for advanced placement, dual credit, and international baccalaureate, but also to prepare them for post-secondary college readiness skills that we see on the PSAT and the SAT, dual credit again, advanced placement, and international baccalaureate. You can see the quote from the student there on the screen. She sent this to me as a message to incoming 5th graders. I'm just going to put it plainly, humanities is hard, but not overwhelming. Though your brain will be tired after class, you will have learned so much in that hour and 30 minutes that you will surprise even yourself. So this student was fully engaged in the GTELA Humanities. So that's another great option for our students to challenge themselves with advanced and college preparatory work in the intermediate grades. Next slide, please. All right, for our high school advanced course college credit pathways, we're going to start right off with our amazing partner for dual credit courses, and that's Lone Star College, University Park. Dual credit is a process by which high school student enrolls in a college course and receives simultaneous academic credit for the course from both the college and the high school. Students demonstrating college readiness through a college placement exam can earn college and high school credits in the same course by attending classes either at high school, online, or at Lone Star College. Transfer credit is available to all Texas public colleges and universities, to some private institutions, and then some out-of-state colleges and universities also accept dual credit or community college credit that students earn while in high school. High school teachers must meet the college standards for teaching the course. Students earn a college transcript from taking dual credit courses. And as I said, they're accepted at many Texas public colleges and universities, as well as out-of-state universities as well. In order to see all of the available options for dual credit courses here in Klein ISD and to follow this college prep pathway, please take a look at the link that will be put in the comments that lists all of the available options for dual credit courses through our partner Lone Star College. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right, so our next advanced course college credit pathway for high school students is advanced placement. This is a national standard curriculum created and authored not only by university professors, but also by high school teachers wanting to see and challenge their students with rigorous college level curriculum. These courses in advanced placement are actually foundational level first year college courses. In Klein ISD, we have over 35 course offerings. Again, I encourage you to take a look in the comment section. All of the Klein ISD AP courses, a document there will list all of the courses that are available through advanced placement. AP courses are foundational first year college courses. As I said earlier, students challenge themselves with end of course AP exams for college credits. Students who receive a score of 3+ on AP exams experience greater academic success in college and have greater graduation rates than their non-AP peers. Most college and universities offer college credit, advanced placement, or both for qualifying AP exam scores. It is the law in Texas that state colleges and universities, such as Texas A&M, the University of Texas at Austin, and many other state schools, must award credit for students who earn a 3 or higher on the AP exam. Pictured here is Vivian Wren, one of our Klein Forest graduates from 2019. She earned the AP Scholar Award of AP Scholar with Distinction. That meant she took 4 or more exams and averaged a 3.5 or higher on those exams. And you can see her quote that she felt completely prepared for college from challenging herself in advanced placement courses while in high school. So if you're interested in advanced placement, it is the courses are available in the comment section. In the comment section. So please go ahead and take a look at those. All right. Another great advanced course college credit pathway is our International Baccalaureate Diploma program housed at Klein Oak High School. This program is focused on the learner and on the learning for students who really want to challenge themselves with the most rigorous interdisciplinary curriculum offered to high school students worldwide. This is an international program. It is sponsored and it's housed at the University of Birmingham in England. As I said, it's quite rigorous. You can see on the screen 10 reasons why a student should challenge themselves with the International Baccalaureate Diploma program, the academic opportunity and potential for university-based scholarships. Students are most likely to gain entry to top-level universities worldwide. It is more than academics. There is a component to the IB diploma program in which students participate in a program called Creativity, Action, and Service. They complete a community service project. It is a requirement to earn the diploma. Students learn outside of the classroom and learn about emotional and ethical and really grow and develop in those areas in completing a community service project. The International Baccalaureate Diploma program encourages confident and independent learners. The extended essay coursework develops skills to direct their own learning. There is very challenging critical thinking critical thinking development, and students find success and confidence as they are working through these very challenging courses. IB presents a tremendous wealth of depth and knowledge to the learners. Students study 6 subjects in an interdisciplinary format. The subject areas are all connected together, and they challenge themselves with 3 high-level courses and 3 standard level courses, as well as a theory of knowledge. In order to earn the diploma, students must test in 3 high-level courses and then also 3 standard level courses, as well as complete the extended essay and the community action and service, community service project. In the state of Texas, it is the law that students who earn the diploma, the International Baccalaureate diploma, receive 24 college credits to colleges and universities that accept the IB diploma. So that's the advanced college and career pathways. I'm going to turn it right back over to Deborah.
Thank you, Kathleen. There really are so many wonderful advanced academic opportunities for students in Klein. And Kathleen had an opportunity to share with you about dual credit courses and our amazing partnership with the Lone Star College system. And so I'm going to give you a little bit more information about some really nice packages called Accelerated College Pathways. We have 3 Accelerated College Pathways in Klein ISD, and the unique thing about these is that students are taking a full array of dual credit courses in the core areas and very specific CTE courses that are aligned to a future career plan. And students are able to actually earn an associate degree and walk the college stage for graduation prior to earning their high school diploma. So basically, this is, as Kathleen spoke about, a simultaneous opportunity for students to be completing high school and college at the same time. So these pathways, the accelerated college pathways, all start for students in their freshman year of high school, and they are full 4-year pathways, and some even extend 2 years beyond high school. We specifically are looking for students who have completed the Algebra 1 requirement in intermediate school. And so as we talk about planning ahead, this is a really important a reason to do that, to participate in an accelerated college pathway. In the case of a pathway that is focused on Associate of Sciences, well, a student might also want to be taking biology at the intermediate school to help them prepare for these rigorous fast track pathways. So why would you do college in high school? What is the advantage of an accelerated college pathway? Well, there's a huge advantage for you and your family because it saves time and money, and it helps fast track you to your future. You can get 2 years of college education complete in high school for approximately $2,000 while taking these advanced courses strategically designed to prepare you for future high skill, high wage, and high demand careers. So there are applications for these pathways. This is different than all other pathways that are open enrollment. The pathways require an application specifically because we have to meet higher education requirements for entry into these programs. So Justin, if we'll go ahead and look at the next slide, which brings us to advanced nursing. The advanced nursing pathway has been named a model nursing pathway in high school for the entire state of Texas. And it is an opportunity for us to help students propel them to a career in nursing specifically. And so let's look at the next slide so we can see some of the faces of the students that are participating in this pathway and some of the wonderful opportunities that they get to participate in. So as you look at the students in these slides, you can see them having hands-on learning opportunities in a mock clinical setting, in real clinical settings. You see students that are graduating with their Lone Star College diploma right down there in the bottom of the slide. And on the top right, we have one of the students that was in our first cohort. She earned her LVN within 1 year after high school, and she is already in the phase of completing her registered nurse credentials right now. So how does this pathway work? So students begin in their freshman year. They will attend this pathway at Klein High School. While it is a district-wide pathway, and students from any one of the intermediate campuses in 8th grade can apply for entry. Students complete their first 3 years right on the high school campus, and in their last year, they go to Lone Star College Tomball and do all of the remaining nursing and the remaining college core courses right there on the college campus and participate in clinical experiences alongside students in their regular college program. As I mentioned, students will earn their LVN in less than a year after high school and their RN 2 years after high school graduation. Our goal is for students to then get some workforce experience, but also earn their bachelor's degree in nursing. And our partner, Lone Star College, has an opportunity for students to seamlessly continue in the program through them, or any one of the many partner universities that they work with. So if you're ready to scrub up early, visit the website on the bottom of this slide, KISDUS/nursing pathway, and it will bring you directly to the information about the accelerated college pathway and the application, which is due Friday, February 26th. On the previous slide, I do want to mention, and we can put that in the comments section, there is an email address. All of our accelerated college pathways have a coordinator that works directly with the students to help them ensure their success and provide support. So you can reach out to advancednursing@kleinisd.net if you have some further questions. So moving on, another accelerated college pathway that we offer is our global business pathway. And this is a really special pathway because it's all about earning an associate's degree and not industry specific. So let's look at the next slide, please. Students can earn 45 transferable college credit hours with this, and also pick up some very industry generic transferable sets of skills toward any area. They'll gain several Microsoft Office industry-based certifications, Word, PowerPoint, Excel certifications, master certifications, and then they can take their associate's degree and their college credits, their transcript, and go into any university, transfer in based on, of course, the college requirements, and explore their future further. So looking down at the bottom of the slide, you'll notice there is an email address there. Certainly reach out and ask our Global Business Pathway Coordinator questions. And the application for this is also on the Pathways website. And if we look at the next slide, if you are ready to pursue business without boundaries, be sure to check out the Global Business Pathway at KISD.US/Global Business Pathway. Now, the Global Business Pathway, Advanced Nursing Pathway, and the next pathway that I'm going to talk about, we will have further events where you can learn more about them. The Pathway Summit, Accelerated College Family Nights. All of those dates and information regarding the events will be shared with you at the end of our presentation tonight. So let's look at the third accelerated college pathway, and that is the amazing geospatial engineering pathway. So this accelerated college pathway is really unique in that there is a huge involvement across the state and very strong within our community of business and industry partners. They brought it to us, told us about an aging workforce and careers for students that after finishing a 4-year bachelor's degree program are graduating and having automatic job placement with 6-figure salaries. And so upon investigating workforce data and ensuring that opportunities were going to be solid for our students, we kicked this pathway off 3 years ago. It is offered at Klein Collins High School. Again, like the 2 other pathways, it is open for students across the district to apply in the end of their 8th grade year right now during course selection time. Let's look at the next slide. So here you'll see some students in the pathway and some industry partners and experiences that they're participating in, whether it is learning about surveying and the maps associated with that, the LIDAR, drones, and how all of that technology, GIS technology, applies into opportunities for the students to become GIS technologists in the future, professional surveyors, geospatial engineers, or cartographers. This pathway really is going to allow students with a strong interest in science and strong math skills to complete an Associates of Science degree in high school and be able to take their college credit hours and transfer that into a Bachelor's of Science degree program. This is a first, again, in Klein ISD. It was the first Texas Education Agency state-approved regional program of study, which basically means that the state of Texas has approved us to do something unique and that is not being offered anywhere else. Several are really watching closely and wanting to follow along, but we offer this right here, and students attend Klein Collins High School. So you'll see the address right there to ask questions, specifically if you want to reach out to the coordinator of the Geospatial Engineering pathway. So let's look at the next slide. If you are ready, students, to get a lay of the land, visit our pathway website. There are lots of resources on the website around future career options, the job prospects, the universities that offer these programs that you could consider for continuing your education. And again, I want to point out that we have some special events coming up, Accelerated College Family Nights and the Pathway Summit, that we will be having special presentations around each of these. So I look forward to seeing those of you who are interested join me at those special events. The application for this pathway, as with all pathways, is due February 26th and can be found on our Pathways website. And that is right down there in the comments section for you to find. We're going to go ahead and answer some additional questions right now.
And Deborah, I did want to take a second real fast and tell people there's a lot of questions out there in the comments, and we're so thankful that are very specific, and just know that every time you put a question in there, we're going to go back and answer those. I think last time we did this in the spring of 2020, we answered all the questions in the comment section. So we're going to answer some questions live right now. I'll pass it over to you.
Yes, and if we don't answer your question in the comments section tonight or online, we will be following up and answering everything, and you'll see that on Facebook. And as I mentioned, there are lots of ways that you can reach out to us as well. So Kayla, this question is going to be for you. And Marino asked, Can a multidisciplinary endorsement lead to law or the healthcare field in case a student were to want to change their mind?
So it kind of encompasses everything, and so you really would want to look at the public service endorsement if you're interested in law, and try to look at what is required for that endorsement, and then the multidisciplinary will probably fall right into place with it, especially if you're doing all 4 of your core subjects.
Yeah. And as Kayla mentioned earlier, you can earn multiple endorsements along the way. And so, very good question. David has a question for you, Joel. He'd like to know where he can find information about advanced grade point credits for the fine arts.
Absolutely. So one way is to look in the course catalog for some information, and also to reach out to any counselor. They can give you further information about it. But those advanced grade points come at the senior level at 12th grade for a student who stayed in for 4 years.
I have a similar question, and I think several people are asking something right along this line. Kathleen, if you could jump in and talk about when the dual credit earning opportunities begin, at what grade level?
Right. Thank you so much, Deborah, and thank you guys for the questions, our Klein families out there. The dual credit opportunity for those courses begin at the 11th grade level here in Klein ISD. And so there are some amazing Klein Prep courses that will help to prepare you for the dual credit courses that you will challenge in the 11th grade.
All right, we have one final question also for you, Kathleen, around the International Baccalaureate program. Is that specifically for students zoned to Klein Oak?
Right. Great question. The International Baccalaureate program is open to all Klein ISD students. Currently, the application is open and due February 5th. It is open to all 8th, 9th, and 10th graders. If a student chooses to apply to the International Baccalaureate program, there is transportation from the student's home high school to Klein Oak should their application be accepted and they are invited to attend the International Baccalaureate program at Klein Oak. The first 2 years, the 9th and 10th grade year, are what we call our pre-IP program. It helps to prepare the students for the interdisciplinary work that is required for the International Baccalaureate Diploma program. And so that student would now transfer from their campus to the Klein Oak campus, and the Klein Oak campus would be their home campus. Again, the district provides transportation for the students should they be accepted into the Klein Oak program from their home high school.
Thank you, Kathleen. Well, we're going to stop the questions this evening, answering them live, but we will continue answering questions on Facebook. And even days to come, we'll be checking those questions and providing responses for you. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to remind everyone that there is lots of exploring to do on kleinisd.net/pathways. And we'll have that in the comments section for you, along with the amazing sites dedicated to advanced academics, career and technical education, and fine arts. Kayla, I'm going to ask you to close us out and share some of these important dates to remember.
All right, Kayla, if you'll go ahead and close us out. And I'm not sure if Kayla can hear us right now, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring back all of our amazing panelists right now just to come back on the screen. And There were some dates up on the screen a second ago. These dates. So the dual credit family night, accelerated college pathway family night, pathway summit, and accelerated college pathway family night. You can see the dates there and the times. They're all virtual. You can do it from your couch, just like you did tonight, or wherever you are, side of the soccer field, or wherever you are tonight. I just want to say thank you so much to our amazing panelists and also Dr. McGowan for doing this tonight. We have a lot of people that really care about your kids here, and they're represented, just a few of them tonight. So thank you all very, very much. Before we head out tonight, I'm going to ask y'all to do me a favor. If you're still with us tonight, tag somebody else in the comments that has not viewed this tonight. Maybe grab the link, put it on your own Facebook page, share it for us. We are going to send this video out in the amazing Klein Insider email that comes out every weekend. And if there's anything else you need from us, drop it in the comments, send us an email. These amazing people and all of their colleagues will be there to help us. So thank y'all all so much for joining us. And thank you to the parents that followed up tonight. All right.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Klein family.
All right. Thank you all so much and have a great night. And I'm going to actually leave y'all. I'm going to go here to that amazing video you may have all missed this morning, or when we started this thing. Feels like morning. And we will leave you with that. Thank you so much.
I plan to go get my LVT license, licensed veterinary technician for the state of Texas. That's actually a position that we train for in this class. We get to shadow other technicians.
Whenever I first learned about this program, and it was like, this is amazing. This is everything I want. And you have to spend a certain amount of hours in class and you have to spend a certain amount of hours in a clinic. So you do this all year long and you will graduate certified vet assistant level 1.
With being able to already work in the clinic and have an established bond with veterinarians. And even if you're going to vet school, any aspect of the veterinary field, you have already one step above others.
This program is amazing.
Oh, I think it's incredible that the district offers dual credit classes, college courses, because I think they're more advanced and they help us educationally. The mock trial is awesome. It helps me learn and benefits a lot. And for the criminal justice major that I'm going into, it extends on all the details and the classes that I'm going to need for the future. You want to learn here. It's nothing that you're, oh, okay, I got to memorize this formula or something like that. This one you actually are interested and want to learn and build a future off of it. It's one of the best classes I've ever taken.
I've never been in a nursing class before, but it turned out to be really fun and cool and interesting because we learned a lot of nursing skills.
We do almost everything except give meds and, start IVs.
We've done vital signs and bed making, and it was really fun to learn all of the different skills.
The teachers are all amazing. I feel whenever I'm talking to my sister who's a nurse, I feel very prepared.
So we take all dual credit classes, and so the cost is less versus a regular normal college class.
I think it's awesome, and especially through the experience that we've had at clinicals at the hospitals, knowing that I could be working there in a matter of a year or two, it's really, really cool.